Hello, this is the 5th episode of the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Fedorov, and I continue to explore the production capacity of Almaty region. I have already visited 6 out of 9 selected enterprises here, and today I will tell you about 3 more. Watch in today's episode. Paradise for those with a sweet tooth. We will visit a confectionery factory where Kazakhstan's biscuits are produced. Our answer to the COVID-19. How the work of Kazakhstan's pharmaceutical factories has changed during the pandemic. Pouring liquid metal. What is produced in Kazakhstan from aluminum? The first block of this program will be especially interesting for those with a sweet tooth. After all, I came to a confectionery factory where more than 100 types of products are made. Sweets, cookies, wafer rolls, and much more. I decided to focus on cookies and today about their production in Almaty region. I have already managed to examine many enterprises in Kazakhstan, and the food industry seemed to be the most difficult one. Let me explain why. Their products are consumed by millions of people who taste it. The human taste buds cannot be fooled, so the quality of these products must be at the highest level. So, I came to the shop where the production of Kazakhstan's biscuits begins. The plant workers use special scales to weigh a certain amount of ingredients for the dough, the basis of future cookies. The dough contains several main ingredients: flour, butter, sugar, and water. Then the production goes according to a separate recipe. Each type of cookies needs ingredients in certain proportions. Next, special mixers designed to knead the dough began their work. Oil, flour, various flavors, flavoring fillers are added here, and then the dough is kneaded in these mixers. The dough is the basis of the future cookies. All proportions must be strictly observed. Confusion with one of the ingredients will make the cookie either too sweet or not sweet enough. Therefore, the mood of consumers depends on the workers of the shop. Men working in this workshop bring batches weighing approximately 150 kilograms each into this mixer. Kneading one batch lasts about 20 minutes. Imagine the stress men are experiencing to pour 350-kilogram bags of flour here. Adding butter and other ingredients, making cookies is happened to be not a very simple and easy process. This enterprise started operating in 2009. Then it produced only one type of product, halva. Over time, the plant has been developing, and after a few years, the range of products increased tenfold. We couldn't meet the market demand with one product anymore. It was necessary to create something new and introduce more types of products. Let's return to the production. After the dough is kneaded, it needs to be reloaded for rolling. To do this, the dough is divided into large pieces and sent to such an iron box from which it goes to the next conveyor line. Further, the dough goes to the next stage of production. Lamination process takes place in this unit, which rolls the dough into one long tape. Then it is rolled to the required thickness depending on the type of cookies, from 3 to 5 millimeters. The rolling parameters are controlled automatically. The thickness of the dough should be strictly within the norm. If the cookies are thinner, they will simply burn in the oven, and if they are thicker, they will remain raw. When the dough is rolled out to the required thickness, it falls under the so-called matrix. This matrix cuts the shape of the future cookie, and the product is sent to the oven. At this stage, the cookies are put in the 40-chamber oven. They have to go through several temperature regimes. This is done to ensure that the cookies are properly dried, baked, and at the same time retain the entire flavor palette. The furnace is divided into 3 sections. and each section has its own temperature regime. It reaches 80, 140, and 200 degrees respectively. This enterprise uses foreign equipment. Each tape is already designed for the production of a certain type of product. This equipment is multifunctional, and by changing the technical parameters or the taste of the dough, you can significantly expand the range of products by adapting it to the selected market. Taking some equipment, we accordingly buy technology. That is, it is not like we buy equipment and then think about how to make products. Initially, we look for the technology itself, and then we look for equipment for it. After that, it is put into production. And as you saw, all our equipment is foreign-made. We take this technology, adding tastes of our production. So the cookies are put in the oven. This process takes approximately 30 minutes, depending on the type of cookies. One such production line is capable of baking up to 12 tons of products per shift. It is a great pleasure to work at the confectionery factory. These production halls smell like almonds, chocolate, cinnamon, and freshly baked goods. According to some sources, Iran is the homeland of cookies, and it appeared in the 8th century AD. However, other sources say cookies first appeared in Great Britain between the 17th and 18th centuries. At this time, the country was actively exploring the sea, and sailors took bread with them, previously drying and baking it. Thus, the first cookie was made. But it was not sweet and delicious as it is now, but just resembled an ordinary cracker. As the shop workers told us, cookies are a special product. To make it really tasty, ingredients and a recipe are not enough. One needs a special approach to business to make excellent cookies. Here you need to put your soul into it and do it with joy. It is very encouraging that our products are consumed by such a huge number of people. After the oven, the cookies move along the conveyor belt for a certain time. It has to get cold until packaging. In addition, cooled cookies are less fragile and better retain their shape. We supply our products not only throughout Kazakhstan. First, we had to introduce our products in Kazakhstan and show that we can produce high-quality products. Local consumers accepted us. We have our representatives in every region of Kazakhstan. We also export our products to the CIS countries, near and far abroad. And now, when the cookies get cold, they can be packed. The plant's products are placed into boxes automatically and manually. We represent our country. There are 19 million people behind us. Made in Kazakhstan label, of course, imposes a very great responsibility on you. After packaging, cookies are immediately sent to the shelves of shops and supermarkets. According to statistics, every third citizen, when choosing sweets, prefers cookies. Enjoy your tea. There are enterprises which become popular at a certain time. So last year, during the pandemic, when the country leadership announced lockdown, one of the enterprises of Almaty region specializing in the production of medical devices worked 24 hours a day. This enterprise produced masks and other personal protective equipment for the population. Let's take a look at this enterprise from the inside and find out how medicine and modern technologies interact here. This plant is one of the first Kazakhstan's medical profile enterprises. It launched production in 1998 and specialized in the sale of imported drugs. All the premises of this factory fit into a one-room apartment, and only 3 people worked here. Today, this plant covers several hectares. Modern premises have been built, production lines and laboratories have been equipped. The range of products has exceeded several dozen items. One of the directions is sterile medical clothing. Its production begins with the cutting of special fabrics. We have a cutting workshop in the sewing department. Here we manufacture and cut disposable medical products. We offer shirts, surgical gowns, shirts for women in labor, high shoe covers, disposable medical suits. The products of this plant are used in almost all areas of medicine. Moreover, products are made from modern materials and using the latest technologies. In modern medicine, a special fabric is used for the production of surgical gowns and sheets. This is not an ordinary fabric, but a polymer one. This fabric does not collect any villi and various particles that could get into an operating room or a patient's ward. Therefore, this fabric actually protects people from possible infections. So the production of surgical kits and patient care products starts from here. This is a cutting workshop. Polymer fabric is laid in several layers. This happens both manually and automatically. This fabric is very practical to use. It is breathable, solid, and elastic enough not to tear, has a repellent effect on foreign particles, viruses, and bacteria. In general, this fabric is unique. If you study its properties in more detail, then it is impossible not to admire human ingenuity. This fabric is really indispensable in medicine since in addition to its mechanical properties, it also has a disinfecting effect. The computer automatically makes the layout. And produces the most efficient cut with millimeter precision. After cutting, the material is delivered to the sewing department and next to the assembly department, where sterile sets are created. Each detail of the future kit is sewn by hand. For example, a set for women in childbirth can consist of 4, 5, 6, or more items. Surgical kits have from 4 to 8 items. The factory also produces sheets, napkins, and bed linen for patients. Once the kits are sewn, they go to packaging. Now let's move to the next workshop, where another production line is operating. Plastic and hygiene products are manufactured here with special technologies. We take polymer products. This is polystyrene grade 585 with which we work. After that, the operator carries out the incoming control, and then, after checking and confirming, the material goes to melting, where a Cusco mirror or other plastic products is cast at a certain temperature. The main material for plastic medical devices is polystyrene. It is a refined product that is widely used in the chemical industry. To get something out of polystyrene, it must be subjected to a certain temperature treatment. Another area of the plant's work is the production of plastic medical products. They are made from this special plastic polymer. It is environmentally friendly, absolutely harmless, therefore it does not cause any allergic reactions or irritations. For the production of these plastic products, there is a special workshop at the plant, which is equipped with modern devices. These aggregates melt this plastic polymer at a temperature of 220–230 degrees, and parts of medical products are then made from it, which are then assembled by hand. It's even hard to believe that this enterprise has turned from a one-room apartment into a large-scale factory with the latest equipment. This enterprise is an excellent example of what results can be achieved when science and modern technology interact. We have 6 machines. Each has its own preform size. These devices have the advantage of high productivity and high quality. Another production line of the plant is the production of medical masks. The demand in these products has increased sharply during the spread of the COVID-19. As it turned out, it is impossible to predict a pandemic, but it is possible to defend against it in time having such production facilities. Over the past year and a half, a medical mask is perhaps the most demanded product in the world. This plant specializes in the production of such masks. During the pandemic, when the incidence rate in the country reached its peak, the company took unprecedented measures. It increased the production capacity of masks several times, from 15 million pieces to 40 million masks a year. The enterprise produced its annual volume of 15 million masks in just 3 months. This was the imperative of the times. Today, the incidence of COVID-19 in any country depends on the quality of a medical mask. Kazakh-made masks are produced according to all necessary standards and comply with international requirements. They prevent airborne transmission of germs, viruses, and harmful particles during epidemics of influenza and other diseases. Medical masks are widespread not only in medical practice, they are widely used in the cosmetic and food industries, in trade, and in everyday life. If a consumer knows only a common 3-layer mask, we can offer 9 types of masks. These are baby masks for boys and girls. This is an ordinary mask. This is also a mask for boys and girls. It is called butterfly. A respirator mask. We also produce a wide range of colored ordinary 3-layer masks, blue, pink, so that you can control the timely change of the mask. We are making such a mask. This is a carbon mask, which differs from a simple blue mask in that it has a long service life. That is, the service life of such a mask lasts up to 3 hours, as the cheapest ordinary blue mask can be used only for 2 hours. Studies by international scientists have confirmed that masks do provide us with an important barrier by reducing the number of harmful viruses we inhale. The material from which surgical masks are made significantly reduces the likelihood of contracting COVID-19. It is especially important to wear masks in environments where the concentration of the virus can be elevated, in medical facilities, airplanes, restaurants, and crowded, poorly ventilated rooms. During the pandemic, from the beginning of 2020, we had to completely restructure the operation of the enterprise. That is, we understood in advance that we needed to prepare to fight the pandemic. We strengthened the work of the shop, hired qualified personnel, and purchased more new lines. In 2020, we launched such fish-type respirators, butterfly respirators for children, and increased the production of 3-layer masks. That is, during the peak of the pandemic, the plant produced up to 250,000 masks per day. We guarantee that our masks really have all the filters they need, all the layers that are necessary for full protection. The quality of our masks is checked by the quality control department. The masks also undergo in-process control. So after the plant's products have received approval from the quality control department, they are sent to a special workshop where they are completely sterilized and then go to pharmacies and medical institutions. What do we know about aluminum? It would seem that it is an ordinary metal that is ubiquitous in our life. But in fact, aluminum is irreplaceable. Almost everything is made from it, from mobile phone cases to utensils for aircraft fuselages. This is the value of aluminum. This metal can be found in nature in its pure form. To get it, one needs to do a tremendous amount of work. First, to extract bauxite, this is a natural element that contains aluminum, and then subject the already processed bauxite to physiochemical reactions. Only then pure aluminum will be obtained. I came to an enterprise where products are made from pure aluminum and exported to different countries under the Made in Kazakhstan brand. The aluminum profile is the final product that is produced in this plant. To get a finished product, you need to do a number of serious transformations with aluminum. I would like to note that such a production cycle is very expensive. Therefore, when constructing factories of this type, first of all, economic efficiency is taken into account. The calculation of the economic efficiency of the plant begins already from the very first stage of the production of aluminum products. This apparatus is called briquettes. It turns aluminum scrap into such briquettes. What is this procedure for? Such briquettes help to reduce the area of interaction of the metal with the atmosphere in the furnace, because if the metal occupies a large area, it will simply burn out into the atmosphere. Thus, the plant can incur losses, and for the enterprise, even 1% of losses can already have serious financial shortcomings. Aluminum is unique in that it can be reused. It is enough only to remelt the metal and, if necessary, add a certain percentage of pure aluminum to it, and then the aluminum scrap turns into a usable metal. There is a full cycle here, starting from the processing of scrap and smelting of primary aluminum. We use it to make pillars of two diameters, 152 and 203 millimeters, 6 meters long. Here you can see them. After that, we produce an aluminum profile from these pillars called extrusion by hot pressing. Aluminum is one of the youngest metals discovered by man. It was possible to obtain it only in the 19th century, thanks to the development of chemistry and the advent of electricity. For a century and a half, aluminum has gone an incredibly interesting path from a precious metal to material used in absolutely every field of human activity. This includes construction, production, railways, and electrical engineering. If we take the simplest thing, there is probably not a single building where aluminum is not used. These are windows, doors, facades. So, the production of aluminum profiles under the brand Made in Kazakhstan starts from the foundry. Aluminum scrap is processed here every day. First, it is separated by the purity of the aluminum content and then sent to remelting. The foundry must cast poles for hot pressing. If we work at full capacity, then we can cast 1,200 tons of products per month. The remelting of aluminum takes place in this furnace. It heats the metal to a temperature of 1,000 degrees. Access to this area is allowed for specially trained people, as this part of the production line has a high-risk status. Well, this part of the program will be very painful for car enthusiasts to watch, because at the aluminum smelter, such practically new car aluminum rims are used as scrap. Now this disc will go to the furnace for remelting. Aluminum is being melted into such pillars. They are placed in special chambers so that they first cool down and then they are reheated. This process helps the metal to become stronger. Then the heated aluminum goes to the next stage of production. These elements of the aluminum production line are called matrices. They have different diameters and, most importantly, different shapes. The principle of their work is as follows. When an aluminum ingot is heated to a temperature of about 200 degrees, so that it's easier to work with the metal, it goes through this matrix like a meat grinder. Already in a given form, a finished aluminum product comes out from here. There are about 1,400 such matrices of various shapes and diameters at the plant. When an aluminum profile of the desired shape and size is obtained, it is treated with special solutions for better painting. Profile painting takes place in separate boxes. The color and composition of the paint can be different depending on the technical requirements of the customer. And after the aluminum profile has already passed the painting process, it enters a special oven where the paint is dried at a high temperature, and from this oven actually finished products come out, which after cooling down can be sent to the warehouse. The Kazakhstan's aluminum profile is in demand not only in the domestic market. Now we work both for the local market and for Russia, Ukraine and Kyrgyzstan. Now we want to go to Uzbekistan. One has to realize that there is a great competition on the market. One should take quick decisions, otherwise the products will not be in demand. The fact that our products labeled as made in Kazakhstan is a great obligation. This is, first of all, responsibility to consumers. Of course, there is already demand for the quality products. The fact that today we have a very large number of orders speaks for itself. Experts assure that Kazakh-made aluminum products can be in demand not only in the CIS countries. Kazakhstan's aluminum is of high quality. Moreover, the country has technologies for the production of first-class products. To expand export markets, the laws on the domestic market need to be revised, according to industry representatives. Bauxites are mined, aluminum ingots are made of them, 90% or more of primary raw materials are simply exported. Although I think it would be fair to create more jobs here and develop the industry so that aluminum does not leave here as a primary metal, but is processed here and exported with a higher added value to the CIS or European Union markets. Representatives of the aluminum industry have already written official letters and proposals to government agencies to increase the production capacity of products under the Made in Kazakhstan brand. In their opinion, an increase in the production range of products from Kazakhstan's aluminum will inevitably provoke an economic effect. If we convert this into figures, it will give us about 1 billion foreign exchange earnings to our domestic market. So the Made in Kazakhstan brand aluminum profile is ready. Now the products are loaded for transportation and leave to become part of residential buildings, industrial facilities, and sports complexes. Thus, they fulfill their main function, turning into beautiful cities and infrastructure facilities in Kazakhstan. This was the 5th series of the Made in Kazakhstan project. Over the past 3 episodes, we have toured 9 enterprises of Almaty region. And judging by these production facilities, we can safely say that this region has made a big leap in production over the 30 years of Kazakhstan's independence. Subscribe to the Qazaq TV channel on YouTube, and you will learn a lot of interesting things about Kazakhstan. Leave your comments and be sure to click on the bell to stay informed about new episodes. It was the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Todorov, and I will see you in the next episode.